hotel rooms. Up all night drinking till the day shows. With the B list and the C list and the demons coming till I see shit on a private jet. But you can't afford your rent. Getting high with fake friends, cause that's all you got. The creeps are crawling up to the doorways. They're dying to find out what's inside. The creeps are always posting their photos.
Now you might pray to God, y'all, but I like Lucifer best of all. Don't keep changing, waiting. Don't keep changing, waiting. Sunday school is a place for fools. It's hot in hell, but the devil's cool. Don't keep changing, waiting. Don't keep changing, waiting. So don't just sit there, join the club. Sell your soul to Beelzebub.
Hey, everybody. It's I, Count Jackula, here to let you know that sin is in for this sinful Saturday. I'm, of course, your host and your favorite satanic streamer, Count Jackula. I hope you're all doing well. Mr. Jimmy Jam was the first to be here. How you doing, Jim? Jim is currently out in the Austin, Texas, even though I told him not to go back to Texas. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Constantine, thank you for the $4.99 donation. Thank you very much. Let's all give a hail Satan to Constantine. Hail Satan there, yo. Man, Stacy's with us. Pletchmeister is also with us, and so is Lucas Oliver. Heyo, back to you. And Timothy McSweeney, who's apparently recovering from a cold. We all wish you the best, Tim. Oh, boy. Thought I'd just get on and shoot the shit. Thorgrim has just joined. Longtime member of the pit. Good to see him. And, I started out, I was in a mood. I was in a mood today when I started out. Just everything was just irritating the shit out of me. Just couldn't. Yeah, happy Twin Peaks Day. She was wrapped in plastic. Crack the code, solve the crime. It's very good cherry pie. See, now you got my Twin Peaks going on. Those of you who haven't seen Twin Peaks, all 3 seasons of Twin Peaks, because they made a third one, like a few years back, they made a third one. Ought to go fucking watch the whole thing, because it's fucking amazing. It's weird. It's hard to figure out. But once you finally get a handle on what's happening, like it all comes together. So one of the things that's super cool about the third season really does kind of bring everything together. But it is fucking David Lynch. He ain't gonna handhold you. You're gonna have to figure it out. And bless him for that. I think we need more mysteries in the world sometimes, because sometimes I go through an entire day with nothing interesting to think about. And I hate that. I don't like not having something fun to think about. Because I think no matter what, if I don't have good things, it's going to be shitty things. I don't like thinking about shitty things. I have to. But then again, you got to remember that I am not a person who thinks that horror movies and gore and horrifying situations are bad times, so your mileage may vary. Damn good coffee. I know, damn good coffee. Thorgrim, I've been obsessed recently with the movie Robotica Destructiva and the Hyboria RPG. I know what Hyboria is, but I don't know what Robotica Destructiva is. But I think you should absolutely do that. Like that's how a lot of great art is made, by taking 2 ideas, mashing them together, and then coming up with something that's both of them and a little bit more. See what kind of baby those 2 parents will fucking make. Yeah, speaking of art, like I told the other day, I kind of got back into sculpting the other day. I'm currently sculpting doing a sculpture of a character that appears in Babylon. And if that goes well, I might do another one. I might do like a statue of Babylon herself. You know, the goddess. Luke Oliver is like his first stream I've actually catched live. Oh, well, welcome. Yeah, I'm also working on the Game Studios logo, so I can have that, because we've kind of been without a logo for a while, and I think we need to start. We're getting to the point where like that Kickstarter is going to be happening. So when I'm stuck on the writing part, move to some of the art, the visualization, as I like to call it. Oh man, but yeah, I was in a bad mood today. Everything was pissing me off. I was mad at every baby being born. You know, just because of anti-abortionists. You know, back when it was like a guaranteed right, I was a little less hardcore. I was a little less misanthropic about the whole thing. Now I'm just like, nah, kill that baby. See that fetus, kill that fetus, you know? In fact, I think someone did a song about that. To the tomb. I'ma have abortions always. Kill that fetus.
And sometimes I do have doubts and it's hard to sleep. I think about my child's heartbeat and oh, it makes me weak. I hope and pray to God my little fetus has a soul. 'Cause I wanted to feel pain when I eject it from me.
Possibly the greatest song in all of BoJack Horseman. Hey, Razorvine, and thanks for the fucking donation. I haven't seen you in ages. Let's see. Oh, you thought I was gonna bring up something by Guar? Like what? Like what like preschool prostitute? You know? Or Have You Seen Me? You know, one of the greats. One of the greats. We need more tasteless gore and sex in the world. That's what I'm saying. This town needs an enema. Oh, Razorvine donated $2 to get a Hail Satan out for him. Hail Satan. Hail Satan, Razorvine. Hail Satan. It has been a year, dude. Like in January, I don't know if you saw, but I went to the hospital. I got COVID, and the COVID fucking gave me diabetes. No joke. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I have type 2 diabetes now. And it fucked me up. My blood sugar was like 1900, which is beyond lethal. Fucking 1900 blood sugar is like beyond lethal. Like, that is, death is imminent. I give it up for the for my doctor at the hospital. You know, kind of kept me from going into I should have been in a diabetic coma, because like you risk diabetic coma starting at like, 400. Here's how it works. COVID gets everywhere. It gets everywhere. So if you're predisposed to diabetes somehow, because it does run in my family, it runs in my father's family. He don't got it, but like my grandfather has it, my aunt has it. Her husband also has it, but I'm not related to him by blood, so I didn't get it from him. But yeah, it can activate other chronic illnesses that are waiting to happen. And that one was waiting to happen, and it did. Yeah. So if you're like predisposed to diabetes and you get COVID, it could fucking happen. It could just develop because it'll do that damage to your pancreas. Yeah, I had no idea either. Like, there's a chance that I was diabetic already, but we don't really know. But we do know that the reason it got so high was because of COVID. That's the reason it got so bad. It also, diabetes, I don't know about COVID, but diabetes also starts fucking with your eyesight. Like, I keep going back between being nearsighted and farsighted. And I was like, why is this happening? Because, like, sometimes I can read things very clearly from far away. Other days I can't. Some days I can't read really close up. Other days I can. That's why even though I got those glasses the one time, I'm not always wearing them. You don't always see me wearing them online because, like, for instance, right now I can read just fine. Things that are farther away that were clear about 2 weeks ago are now getting fuzzy again. And apparently that's just something that can happen with diabetes. I did not know that. Hey, Brian, how you doing? So yeah, that was my lovely time. That was my January. I went to the hospital on my birthday. It was a terrible gift. But the only positive thing is I like lost 15 pounds. Yay. You know, it's like, okay, look, my stomach looks flatter. I guess that's good. Like, I don't know if it was worth it, getting it that way, but like, I gotta take the ups where I get them, right? Silver linings. Yeah, you gotta tease out a win somehow. Yep, lost it due to the diabetes. And not eating for like 3 days, Yeah, if I was, well, I should work out more. If I worked out more, then I've been thinking about working out more, but I usually do like when the spring comes around. That's when I usually have like the motivation, the energy for it. Except when I'm in LA. When I'm in LA, I do want to work out. I think it has something to do with the heat, the warmth. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, I can just, as opposed to, it's kind of cold. I don't want to do shit, like. You going to medicate for weight loss soon? Oh, man. What do they have me take for the diabetes? Metformin. I am on metformin. What happened in your year, Razorvine? I haven't heard from you in a while. Funny enough, I've been hearing more from Arthur these past few months. Like, he's turned into a drag performer, which is kind of interesting. But he's also like turned into a drag king performer, which is double weird because he's a cis male. But then again, I've met like cis female drag queens, so I guess, for them, it's really more about the art form than the impersonation. Oh, you're over 260? Damn, you put on weight, son. Used to be thin as shit. Let's see. Razorvine says, I don't remember what I've told you that I found. I have something called Brugada syndrome. What is that? Gotta check. Hold on, I gotta look that up. Genetic disorder that can cause a dangerous irregular heartbeat, especially during sleep. Ooh. Oh, so you get heart arrhythmias. Oh, dude, I used to get those. Yeah, where your heart speeds up and like it feels like you're about to faint, but like you don't quite. No, not particularly. No, you haven't neck organ. No, not particularly. Every time I looked at you, like you look like you might have been like, a little heavy, but like I would have put you like north of 200, Now a cyborg with a heart monitor. Yeah, unless you're like really tall, Thorgren, like that's something I wouldn't have gotten online, how tall you were. You even count your body weight because the shit makes you overthink. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, for me, it's not about like the diabetes is the first thing where I have to worry about a number, because before, when it was like, you're working out, it's like, well, I don't want to weigh myself because I'll get a bad impression of what's happening, because the more you work out, the more dense your muscle mass gets, and you just get heavier as a result. Oh, you're like 5'10"? Okay, so you're a little shorter than I am. But not by much. Really? Oh, I just didn't get that from you. Thinking about weight and me don't get along. Oh, yeah. They don't really. Let's see. So here's the thing: it's a genetic disease, but I don't have the gene for it. But they also say it could develop randomly without the gene. You're one of the lucky few. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that sounds like something COVID could have done. He could have like fucked with. Yeah, COVID's nasty. Like, COVID is a nasty virus. Also, I'm not one that really thinks about someone's weight until it's like way out of control. Like, I think, like, 200 pounds is like a fine weight for a girl, especially if 20 to 30 pounds of it is tit. But no. Like, seriously, like, those numbers don't phase me. And I think the body weight index is full of shit anyway. And if we really, and I wish that we really treated being overweight as a potential health condition, rather than like a social stigma, because there's certain people, their perfect weight is like 230, like is 200 pounds. Like now when you're approaching 300, like clearly that's bad. That's not good. But in my opinion, a pretty generous spectrum of healthy weight. Now obviously if you look at it like, like my 600-pound life or whatever, like, oh yeah, like you mainly wonder how a person got there, and that's because they've got like problems that you don't, whether they be physical, emotional, or both. Usually it's both. That's like your mind and your body had done you dirty. Oh yeah, the Killer Clowns game, like I wonder if I'll have money for that when it comes out. I've got to like I got a lot of stuff that I gotta like save money for like cover art for Babylon, things like that. Hey Perry Agus, good to meet you. That looks like is that a new name but an old face, or a new name and a new face? See, Lucas also says stuff about bodies has always been rough with me. Being a bigger person happens to be trans. Oh, gotcha. And let me guess, you're trans femme? I'm just guessing. I'm just taking an educated guess there. Joe Care, it's official. I got a hernia. Get it fixed as soon as possible. Oh, it's Town Eccentric. New name. Hey, Town, how you doing? Trans mask. Well, I mean, okay. On the other hand, like that doesn't tend to at least you're not going to get the misgendering. Sorry, trying to silver line it. I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, I have noticed that if you're a bigger dude is not usually like mistaken, is not usually misgendered, even when they're trans. So there's that, Yeah, and I get why you would love. Oh yeah, like a lot of trans people I know love horror for the body horror stuff. Because like makes sense, right? Like your body is kind of a horror show if you're trans. It could even be a horror show if you're like on an average day if you're like a cis woman. Like you bleed every 4 months. Like think about it, kind of horrifying. Kind of scary. Do I have a workout routine? No. It's random. I use kettle weights and it's very random. Bathrooms aren't so bad. Men don't care as long as you don't make eye contact. Yes. That is absolutely true. Men don't worry about getting raped in a bathroom. They just don't. We just don't. Yeah, what we're worried about is homosexual attraction, or coming off like we're coming on to somebody, Like that's what I worry about. Like, 'cause I'll start a conversation in a bathroom. I'll start a conversation anywhere. That's why I used to love. That's why I love like. That's why I used to love like clubs, particularly ones where there was a bit of gender fluidity. Because like, now we're just talking in the bathroom, man. This is a great song. I love it. You know, because I think about goths as goths are always. It is acknowledged. Most goths acknowledge that they're all a little gay. So much so, if you're a gay goth, you hang out at a goth club. You don't generally hang out at a gay club. You can, and I'm sure they do, but it ain't like your regular Thursday, you know, like, or at least it wasn't. You wouldn't go to a bathroom alone at Stallions? Just gotta learn how to. Nah, you gotta learn to do the woman thing. And just like doing a never you mind that, you know, like it. Like fucking. I'm gonna tell you from experience, being a twink at a gay club, you will start to understand why women get really like weird about guys they don't know. You really will, you know, and you will also learn the horrible irony. The horrible irony. There's a horrible irony that I think all women go through. That as a twink you will also go through, which is. Chances are the one hitting on you is going to be the one person you don't want doing it. I don't know why that is. The one you're like, oh, that guy could do me right now. No, he's over there with somebody else. If you're like, please don't come near me. Please don't come near me. God damn it, they're hitting on me. It's never the one you want. And guys get handsy. They get handsy. And they don't take hints. Or at least rather, these guys don't take hints. They get handsy and they don't take hints. And the more of a creep they are, the more handsy they get. Just period. Just period. Weirdly, that's kind of true about being a butch at a lesbian bar. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. See, I would know nothing about that from direct experience because, you know, not a woman. Let's see. 50 says, a cis man, I have to say that avoiding bodybuilding videos and fat shaming TikToks is majorly important. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, fuck that. I'm like, fuck that. Like, people who are really good at inspiring people to keep going as far as like an exercise routine are generally not the kind of people who do TikToks. The workout world is filled with very, 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 very toxic people on that front. Every once in a while, there's a gem. Every once in a while, there's a gem who just wants to see you improve. He just wants to see you do better. You know, he's happy when you push yourself. You know, but other than that, no judgment. but I've only really I've never actually, I know they exist. I've been told they exist, but I've only ever seen one, and that was on television. And it wasn't Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne's an asshole, or he was. He might be dead now. But the guy who I was like, nah, man, you are actually a legitimate workout inspiration to people who have a hard time working out. That's Lou Ferrigno. Like, there's that documentary that was about I think it was the Mr. Universe, or it was some sort of bodybuilding competition, a big one, where it was Schwarzenegger versus Lou Ferrigno, and Schwarzenegger won because, of course. But the thing that I thought was funny is that a lot of people were like, yeah, we need more guys like Schwarzenegger. And I'm like, no, you need more guys like Lou Ferrigno. Because he comes off, he's so nice. He's so nice. He comes off like a good sport. He seems to like encouraging people. He doesn't seem to like tearing people down. And I'm like, I wouldn't have thought. And every time I've seen him in something, where he's him, like I've seen like a lot of, he shows up at a lot of like comic shop shows, and he's always the same guy. He's like, no, you should work out. But I can't. He's like, I didn't either till I did it first. I'm not trying to make you into me. Like I've been doing this for ages, like, but I want you to feel comfortable in your body and realize that as an instrument, and he does push, but he doesn't like, it's never like, nah, you did bad. It's like, no. It takes time. Just try, like just try. And I'm like, man, that's the guy you want to be your trainer, right? In fact, I think that's what he mainly does. Is like, I think he trains movie stars, Hollywood, like a place where the name Lou Ferrigno really means something. And everyone always has really nice things to say about him. Even some of the crazy stories of like hijinks he got up to, particularly when he was shooting The Incredible Hulk, like big cocaine years, no toot, no shoot. Like that was his, like, I'm out of cocaine. If you need me to be up there, I need a little something. No toot, no shoot. It's just like, holy shit, dude. Talk about a man who is himself, That's what we fucking needed. Richard Simmons was a little too weird. I liked Richard Simmons. He was very, very, very encouraging, but you often wondered whether he was grounded in reality. I think that if he could have just come out as queer during his rise, he would have come off as way less creepy. Well, Richard Simmons? Maybe a little bit, but like, he was definitely into self-promotion, but like, I never got the feeling that he was never like mean to anybody. I never saw him be mean to anybody. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno is kind of like Grey Hulk. Yeah. I'm actually convinced that Grey Hulk is based off Lou Ferrigno. I'm also pretty sure that Professor Hulk is also, that Mark Ruffalo also based that on Lou Ferrigno. Because you expect Lou Ferrigno to be dumb as hell, and while he's not like Neil deGrasse Tyson smart, but like he's not stupid. Yeah, he was also his overly aggressive positivity, I think, is what really made him creepy. Because it's aggressive, you know? But you never got the feeling he was being mean to people. Yeah. Also, he's not a super pretty looking guy. Yeah, to him, it was just all about the workout. You know, you doing it, you're doing well. But I like wrestling, but I can't. But I like wrestling. I don't know. I don't know who that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know anything about Reb Brown as a man. All I know is that he's a passable action. He's a passable action actor. Not that great, not that bad. He's been in a lot of fun movies that I really liked. I don't know a lot about him as a person. Any thoughts on Flash Gordon, dude, from Ted? I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't seen the Ted movies. I've seen a lot of clips of it, but I haven't seen the whole movie. Who went into hiding? Reb Brown or Richard Simmons? I know Richard Simmons went into hiding for a bit because he was dying and he didn't want people to see to see him like that. Fridge large meats, punt speed chuck, blast hard cheese. You know, yeah. See, now we're making fun of Reb Brown. Well, it was actually funny enough, Joseph Paul. It was actually that scene that made me wonder if Mark Ruffalo had based that a little bit off of Lou Ferrigno, because, like, that's the type of thing he would do. It's like, oh, someone having a hard time, I'll do something nice for them, you know. But he didn't like to talk too much because he's got a thick accent. No, and he was a little self-conscious about it. But I could totally see Lou Ferrigno doing that, and that was the thing I thought of. I was like, that was the most Lou Ferrigno moment, you know, just like have a taco, you know. Small side tangent, but I just got a text from my best friend. They're willing to be sat down to watch the Firefly trilogy. Wait, the Firefly trilogy? Are you talking about the outer space one? Because I don't mean to shit on your parade, but I hate Firefly. I hate the science fiction space Firefly. I hate it. You know, because for all of its, for any of its high points, Firefly is culturally appropriative as all fuck. Oh, the Rob Zombie ones. Oh, see, that's different. That's different. The 3 Firefly movies, Rob Zombie Firefly movies, are great. Like House of a Thousand Corpses, what it lacks in plot sense, it makes up for in pure entertainment. And that's how you got to see it. Like, it's actually the worst constructed movie he's ever made. And yes, that includes like Halloween 2. Devil's Rejects is bona fide excellent. Like, anyone who says that movie is not a great movie is just wrong. Because it's not debatable. It is not debatable. Devil's Rejects is amazing. It is a great movie. 3 from Hell is a really well-constructed movie that suffers from the lack of Sid Haig. Because he died. So you're always going to feel that loss when you're watching it. Because the Howlin' Wolfman is just not a good replace. You can't replace Sid Haig's Captain Spaulding. You can't do it. And Rob Zombie clearly knew that. But he was already committed to making the movie, so he did what he could. But it is I like that movie a lot because the thing I really like about 3 from Hell is that when you get right down to it, it's a story about family. It's murderous scumbag family, but it's a story about family. It's one of those, no, this is why they're a family. This is why they stick by each other. This is why Otis fucking gives in the Tutti fucking Fruity scene in Devil's Rejects. Because the redeeming quality of the Fireflies is that they care about each other. That's the redeeming quality. And 3 from Hell makes that very clear. Well, Fast and Furious does it in a different way. 3 from Hell feels a bit more earnest. Whereas in Fast and the Furious, it's a bit more shticky. It still works, in my opinion, because, like, when they tried to have serious emotional moments at Fast and the Furious, it did not work. Like, that's why they kind of stopped doing that around 5. Because everyone's like, yeah, whatever, But when it was like, when it got boiled down to like, no, we're family, we're doing this. You just sort of like, yeah, that's right, fucking Vin Diesel. Now let's do some car stunts, Firefly versus Fast and the Furious. Ooh. I'm going to have to go with Firefly. Well, the Fireflies at the end of 3 from Hell might have problems with the Fast and Furious family. But the Firefly family right before Devil's Rejects, when it's the entire family, Fast and Furious family got no shot. No shot. The Fireflies are just too murderous. They're too murderous and too devious. But when it gets down to like just 3 of them, I mean, then it's just a numbers game. Like, then the Fast and Furious family would probably wipe the floor with them. They'd lose several members. They'd lose a few members, but like they would probably win. Those feels a lot like Clockwork Orange. Yeah. Yeah. The cops don't help. Like, the cops are, every major character in fucking Devil's Rejects is terrible. Is a terrible person. Hey, Triox. Mr. Movie Review Vids. Greetings from Virginia. Oh, what part of Virginia? I used to live in that neck of the woods. No, I haven't seen the Thousand Beavers trailer. Were the Fireflies based on the Bloody Benders? They were actually based on the Manson family. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it also included the Bloody Benders, but it was definitely, he mentions the Manson family very specifically. You know, because he's really curious about, he's really fixated on the redeeming aspect of really terrible people. Augusta County. Oh, no, I was more closer to like, oh fuck. Like Renton. Like Renton and Silver Springs, so like northern Virginia. Yeah. That's why, yeah, exactly. That's why Otis quotes him all the time. Yep. Yep. He was the guy who I believe actually who actually did the murders, was Tex Watson. I am the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work. Yep. Tex Watson was like unhinged. Crazy. You know, like Manson was a little bit more controlled, but like Tex Watson was nuts. Yeah, Baby is kind of a combination of Squeaky Fromm and Susan Atkins. Yeah. But hot and blonde. Yeah, that's why she has the high-pitched voice, is because, you know, Squeaky Fromm. That's why she was called Squeaky. Devil's Rejects always felt like a film that was just, oh, no. I mean, it is a mean-spirited movie, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think Leslie Van Houten did get, you know, Van Houten did get paroled. I can't remember, though. It's... And now you can't stop thinking of the ending of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know. When we get to the point of the movie, I could, because I was watching, I was like, oh, this is really cool, but I don't really understand what we're doing with this. You know, like, I understand what we're doing, and he pulled a Pulp Fiction on us, which is he doesn't tell you what it's all about till the very end. You know, but the minute they fucking ring that doorbell, man, I'm just like, oh, I get it. Now I get it. I get what this movie's doing and what the whole point is. Oh, I love the flamethrower scene. It's so cool. Yeah. They're in Devil's Rejects. There is but here's the thing. It put forth the question of, is the establishment any more righteous? And the answer is no. You know, it's a very thorough and clear no. Because like that movie's way more of a character study. It's way more of a character study about these three people. You know, way more so than the first one. And in the that continues into the Three from Hell, but there it's more about their connections with each other. Oh man. Oh, that shot with that flamethrower is just also just so fucking perfect. I'm like, oh my God. Perfect distance, perfectly framed, you know, like, because no one could stop laughing. And I was like, perfect, perfect Tarantino, perfect. Yeah, Groucho Marx's death was overshadowed by Elvis's. But I mean, on the one hand, that's super unfair to Groucho, but he was the fucking king, you know? Like, it was Elvis. Hey, thanks for the donation, Bronson. Saving Silverman? I haven't seen that one. Oh, it's one of those movies with Jason Briggs. Oh, Jason Biggs. Oh, okay. Oh, it also had Jack Black in it. Eh. Oh. Man. Yeah, I'll probably be seeing Imaginary. You know, more likely to see that than IF. You know, I gotta admit though, I kind of prefer. You know, I prefer these like weirder cult movies. And it has been nice to feel like I can do that again. Like I could just watch them. You know, because when you were like when I was like doing the whole film criticism thing, it was way too caught up in like, oh, I guess I got to do this one because everyone's asking, blah blah blah. You know, it just. You know, and I'm like, that's the worst way to see a movie because that is not how anyone sees a movie. You know, that's not the way a normal person sees a movie. Hell, that's not. Only film critics see movies that way. Only film critics. And I'm just not into going into a movie with that mindset. What's my comfort movie? Probably Blade Runner. Yeah, Halloween 2 is weird. Halloween 2 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is weird. It's the kind of bad a really good filmmaker makes. Yeah, Halloween 2 is a hell of a drug. Yeah, a lot of reviewers go into a movie hating having to go watch it. Because it's become a job. And when it's your job, your tolerance goes way down. Your tolerance for bullshit goes way down. And it's possible. It's possible to do that kind of. It's possible to do like the comedy reviews without falling into that trap. But then you kind of got to avoid almost everyone else who's doing it. And there were actually there were a lot of people I could work with, but very few of them were friends. What about Halloween Ends? I love Halloween Ends. It's a great movie. Complete departure, which is what I thought was needed. Yeah, we talk about a movie, it feels more authentic. Yeah, that's because it is. Yeah, it is more authentic. We go in with that. More left-wing YouTube reviewers gets turned into an alt-right circle jerk. Oh, yeah, no, it's totally turned into, culture war bullshit. You still got guys like Erod and Linkara who don't fall into those traps. But there are a lot that do. There are a lot of others that do. I even fell in that trap for a while. Not necessarily the alt-right trap, but the political discussion trap. That's why I didn't continue on with that. You know, it wasn't doing what I wanted. I wasn't getting into the kind of conversations I found enjoyable. I found myself like in this constant back and forth that went nowhere. You know, because that was my whole thing. I was like, what are we doing right now arguing? Are we helping things, or are we just destroying what relationship we have? Yeah, it's too woke. Bullshit. Any movie that's too woke is bad for a host of other fucking reasons. I've yet to see the exception. Because if you want to say, like, hey, they're just doing this to, like, get performative fucking politics points, performative activism points. Oh, yeah, that does happen. That does happen. I've seen it, but they're never the movies everyone's complaining about. It's never the stuff everyone's complaining about, because the ones that do that are just bad. Like, nobody likes them. So there's nothing to get people angry about, because everyone's already in agreement that it sucks, that the thing sucks. Because if you make that kind of decision, you know that the creative output's not going to be very good. It's going to be performative. It's going to be purely performative, and therefore there's going to be nothing authentic in it. You know, but it's not like, but when people talk to me about Star Wars being too woke or Marvel being too woke, I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're just mad it contains women and minorities. But that's what you're mad about. You know, the reason you didn't hear as much of it from like Black Panther wasn't because that was the one that they didn't have a problem with. It was because the praise was so fucking loud and universal. No one was listening to the dissenters. You know, that was one of those, like Black Panther? What the fuck's wrong with you? You know, like, do you like movies? Do you like superheroes? You know? Like, in order to not like Black Panther, you basically had to be a racist. You know, because that movie is excellent. And everyone was going to go see it because Marvel was riding high, baby. Now, I'll admit they've stumbled a bit. I'm just surprised. I'm just amazed that they were able to keep going, given everything that's happened to them. You know, and I don't even mean the box office. You know, I'm talking about things that brought productions to a standstill. COVID, fucking the strikes, you know, losing a couple of leads for various reasons. Thanks for the donation, Bronson. Have I seen the Flintstones movie from 1994? No, I have not. Brian Lawson says, I think people like the Quartering Hell versus Babyface and Clownfish TV don't actually enjoy entertainment or art. Oh, God, yeah. I know. Quartering is a bitch. Clownfish TV is retarded. I'm not supposed to say that anymore, but I gotta. Like, they're just dumb. Yeah, Hell versus Babyface, I haven't even seen, and thanks for the warning. I won't. The movie review barrels are spiraling down for a long time. Oh yeah. It is now worse than the old, like the movie reviewers of old. It is now worse because now it is entirely politically bent online. Like, everyone's got to know everyone else's politics. No, you don't. No, you don't. I remember when keeping your politics to yourself was like, that's what you did in public. Like, that's what you did. Hell versus Babyface was the guy screaming about pronouns in Starfield. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, sure. That was the problem with Starfield. And I say that being related to someone who worked on it. Yeah, that was the problem. The pronouns. Come on. That also goes to prove what I mean when people... People will scream about that stuff, but it has nothing to do with the quality of the thing. That's not why they're screaming about it. They think that a movie that is too woke is bad. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Most of the greatest movies in the world have been quote-unquote woke. Fuck you. Sharing individual stories, what art all about, baby. And sometimes that's going to get what you call woke, because that's what it does. What you want is propaganda, pure propaganda, and fuck that. Fuck that. I don't move to North Korea for a reason. Pieces of shit. I don't move to Russia for a reason. Yeah, by that analysis, exactly, Brian. By that analysis, Aliens is woke. You could tell me Aliens is bad? Bullshit. That's one of the best movies Cameron's ever made. Oh no, Spike Lee made a woke film. What a surprise. The guy that talks about black issues almost exclusively in his films is gonna be a little woke. Motherfucker, he come from the culture that defined that. Can't complain about it. Oh no, oh my God, it's a Spike Lee movie. I guess it's gonna be about black people again. Yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. Fuck the Green Book. That movie was... a movie about the good white guy. Oh, fuck you. Come on. Like, we haven't seen this a billion times. The Last Hellraiser is woke as fuck. Well, I hope you're not saying that in a bad way. But I gotta be honest, like, I did have a problem with the last Hellraiser. But none of it had to do with woke politics. It had everything to do that it just wasn't sleazy enough. It wasn't sleazy enough. That was my complaint. Like, you gotta, like, Hellraiser got, it had a sex scene, but it's like, but the movie itself didn't ooze it. It didn't ooze the disturbingly erotic. And it needed to ooze it on every fucking frame. That's what makes the first two Hellraisers so good. Because you're like, oh yeah, we're talking about bondage. We're talking about S&M. You know, like, that's what that's about. Animal Farm is too woke. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe focus on what Spike Lee films are saying with intelligence, not your backwards, dumb, white privilege bias. Yeah, no shit, right? Now, I'm not going to say that all of Spike Lee's films are perfect. They're not. But they're honest. And that's worth way more. That's worth way more. Like, one of his, I consider calling it a masterpiece would probably be overstating it, because I think he's done better movies since. But I think one of his best plotted movies, well, I think his most important film is Do the Right Thing. That I thought was his most important film. Because that was an attempt to get to the raw emotion of the anger. Of being black in the ghetto. Because it's not about black people always being right. It isn't. It really is not. But it is all about that experience. Yeah, Do the Right Thing's dope. It's a great movie. You know, fuck a window, Radio Raheem is dead. Fucking dude just got killed and you're worried about a window. You white and racist as fuck. Like, that's the Danny Aiello character's transformative moment when he realizes, oh shit, I am that guy. You damn right you are. Damn right you're that guy. And now look what's happened. Magnum, you would say his magnum opus is Black Klansman? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That would be a good one. That would be a good choice for like his best movie, like hands down best. Like firing on all cylinders, doing the movie exactly like he wants it. Being half Rican and black, the movie still affects me. Oh, Do the Right Thing? Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. You know, because the other thing you're supposed to realize with the whole thing with the pizza parlor, you're like, wait a minute, these guys are kids. The oldest ain't but like 21. Most of them are high school students. Wait a minute. What are we doing? They're rowdy. They're being rowdy kids, but like you're turning them into criminals, which is part of the point of the movie. You know, real major part of the movie, kind of fucking important. It even gets into the fucking prejudice of the black community itself. That movie. When they're about to wreck that Korean grocery. And all the shit they say about the Korean people, with the exception of that one guy. You know, because you got those 3 old men on the corner, and the one old guy's like, man, these guys must work hard. You know, and they're like, well, you know, they don't have the man, you know, pushing them down. And the guy's kind of point is like, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And they still made this. Maybe it ain't always 100% about that. That's actually brought up. Yeah, Do the Right Thing is amazing. It's really good. It's a super insightful if you're willing to look at the insight it is giving you. Well, all right, you want out, but first, the time has come. I didn't hurt you, did I? I always worry when I pick you up by the scruff. But you don't seem hurt. I would agree. Old Boy is definitely his worst movie. I don't know why he made it. I don't know why he remade that movie. Oh, what's my favorite and least favorite Wes Craven movie? That's a hard call. That's a hard call on both ends. Probably Nightmare on Elm Street's probably his best. No, wait. I'm going to go with The Hills Have Eyes. I think The Hills Have Eyes is his best movie. Worst? Worst. That's a harder one. Oh, come on. No, don't give me like No. I don't need his writer credits. I need his director credits. All right. Probably Vampire in Brooklyn. Probably Vampire in Brooklyn, but I don't blame him. Like, I think Eddie Murphy had way more to do with uh, ruining that movie than anything else. Like, he wanted to like Eddie Murphy wanted it to play the role seriously, but Wes Craven wanted to make a horror comedy. And Eddie Murphy at that period of time, in 1995, was not a good dramatic actor. When he was outside, that was like the first time he was like kind of outside the realm of comedy, and he stunk. Eddie Murphy is in a completely different movie from everybody else in that damn thing, and unfortunately, he's the main character. No, I'm talking about Vampire in Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. That I would think it's I would say that that's probably the worst Wes Craven film, at least that I've seen. There are a couple of other movies that he did that I haven't watched. Like I haven't seen Invitation to Hell, and I haven't seen Music for the Heart. You know, John Carpenter, I don't think made a bad movie. Yeah, getting horror comedy is right, but best John Carpenter movie? Oh, that's super hard. That is super hard. Do I think Vampire in Brooklyn deserves a remake? Yes, but I don't know who could make it. I don't know who could make it to the point that it would be the movie it deserves to be. Because most of the people who were really instrumental in making the good parts of that movie are dead. John Witherspoon is dead. Wes Craven is dead. Most of the a lot of the Kings of Comedy are dead. Ghosts of Mars wasn't Wes Craven. Oh no! If we're talking about worst John Carpenter movie, yeah, Ghosts of Mars. What about Spike Lee? No. Spike Lee, I think, could make a great black vampire movie, but I don't think he could remake Vampire in Brooklyn. You know, but I do think he could remake Blackula. Because one of the things that's interesting about Blackula is it's actually a bit more serious than people realize. Do I think Kevin Hart could play a vampire? I'm tired of seeing Kevin Hart in anything. I don't need like Kevin Hart. I didn't mind seeing him in a few things, but then when he was in everything, I couldn't stand him because let's face it, he ain't Tracy Morgan. He ain't Tracy Morgan. He ain't Roy Wood Jr. Favorite unmade John Carpenter project? Oh, like ones that he didn't get to make? Dude, like like almost any of them. Oh, he just make a great Blackula. Yeah, Blackula is actually a legitimately good movie. In fact, that's actually a good way of seeing it. The problem with Vampire in Brooklyn is you had some people who were trying to remake Blackula and other people trying to make the movie you assume Blackula was. And the problem is those two things are incompatible. Like Blackula is actually kind of a serious movie. Like you think it's going to be like super goofy, right? It's not. Like it's got some lighthearted moments, but overall it's not like a silly movie. Tony Todd always points out that movie when he is cited as the first black horror villain. No. Yeah. No, Tony Todd. Actually, the first black film, The Blank, is actually one of Tony Todd's things. You know, that's actually like a thing with him when he's like, "Oh no, there was one before that nobody remembers." You know, Blackula, Jack Johnson, the boxer. You know, first professional black boxer in the big leagues, Jack Johnson. You know, he was at one point he says he's been working throughout his entire career. He's been working on a one man show all about Jack Johnson. Um, you know, and I hope I hope he finishes it. You know, because he performed a little bit of it for us. It's actually on video on the channel somewhere. Because when I did the interview with him, um, and it sounds great. It sounds amazing. You know, did I ever see Sugar Hill? Fuck yeah, I seen Sugar Hill. What are you talking about? Of course I did. It's got one of my favorite character actors of all time, Don Pedro Cody, as fucking Baron Samedi, best version of Baron Samedi committed to film or television for that matter. Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, if I want to look something up on YouTube, it helps if I'm on YouTube. It's also got proper zombies. Yeah, Sugar Hill. There's Sugar. And of course, who he run into last? Didn't Willie Mays teach you nothing? You can't outrun the black man.
Bitch, I'll blow your heart
Oh,
out.
no.
What the hell are you? What do you want from me?
I vowed I'd get you for Langston.
Good evening, Mr. Morgan.
Here's the Baron.
Our first meeting shall also be our last.
You're all alone now, Morgan. Show us what a big man you are. All the others are dead. All but you.
Help me. For God's sake, help me. Somebody, help me. Celeste. Celeste.
Well, woman, you've destroyed them all. Nicely, neatly, superbly.
All but one.
What do you plan to do with her?
I was thinking.
Yes, the price I asked for our bargain.
Cheap at that.
Of course, I would prefer you. But she will have to do, at least for now. Goodbye, Sugar Hill. A gift for you.
Bye.
Won't you join me?
It's over, Mama. You can rest now.
God, it's the best fucking depiction of Baron Samedi. Yeah, Pedro Cody was so fun in that movie. You know, I'm so honored that I got to be like his con buddy. You know, I met him at a WonderCon. Of course, he's way older, so I didn't recognize him at first. And funny enough, I didn't recognize him as Baron Samedi first. I recognized him from his role in Dukes of Hazzard. Sheriff Little of Chickasaw County. I saw that and I freaked out because he was my favorite character on the show. I loved him. You know, and I was like, oh, he was the guy in fucking Planet of the Apes who ran the cult that worshipped the atomic bomb. Oh, he was the guy in THX 1138. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God, you're Sheriff. I fucking hung out with him for like the rest of the day. You know? I hung out with him for the rest of the day, and every con I saw him afterwards, like I'd spend at least an hour just chatting with him. Oh man. Oh, and even through all that time, I never thought of getting an autograph of him as Baron Samedi, and I don't know why. I don't know why. That's one of my big regrets. Because he was the best Baron Samedi. He got it. He understood the assignment. Oh. Well, he has to know me up in heaven now. Like he died several years back. You know, I was really sad. I was really sad because I was like, oh man, I don't get to see Don Pedro Cody anymore. I don't get to hang out with him anymore. That guy was awesome. I loved him, you know? You know, let's pour one out for Don Pedro Cody. He was great. He was great. Baron Samedi. Ooh, he's one of the big gods of one of the major loa of Louisiana Voodoo. Lord of the Dead. He the one that makes zombies. Or one of them at least. I think there are a couple others that can also make zombies, but like he's the big one. No, you want the zombies. You're calling on the Baron. Well, he houses the dead. First time on your stream, says Triox. Thank you. I hope it was good for you. Yeah, I gotta go too. I got company coming over. I just wanted to hop on and see how everyone was. So yeah, Gide. With the Gide, go through him. Yeah, he's the big daddy. You know, the big daddy, the big Aristotle. You know. Is Baron counter opposite to the god that Chucky keeps invoking? Oh, Damballa? Damballa is, I wouldn't say he was the exact opposite, but Damballa he does deal in life. He's the great white serpent. You know, he makes things good. He's also one of the few, like Loa, that accepts white people in his priesthood. But they have to be albinos. Like, if you're white and an albino, then, like, you know, albinos are considered, like, important to Damballa because he's white serpent. You know. And in fact, the serpent in the rainbow, the serpent that's mentioned that is referenced is Damballa. Most of the depictions I've heard of Damballa is male. Damballa is usually male. But there's a really interesting, like, when you get to America, when you get to specifically like Louisiana and Savannah and Louisiana, there becomes this really interesting, I know I said I had to go, but like this is kind of cool. There's this really weird intersection that happens because in Louisiana Voodoo, Baron Samedi got a wife who's Madame Brigitte. Now, Madame Brigitte is a red-haired white woman. Because she's a syncretization of Saint Bridget. Because there was a time when the Irish were pretty tight with the anti-slave cause. And Brigitte's inclusion in the pantheon of Louisiana Voodoo is an artifact of that, is a result of that. Yeah, I could see Damballa being genderless or gender fluid, but most of the stories that I've read, Damballa is represented as male. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the ones that I read. Why did that voodoo priest teach Chucky deranged serial killer such a powerful magic? To get the plot moving. Just to have the plot. That's really it. You know, but it's also a curse. You know, it's also a curse, you know. So that's kind of the explanation of why, like, not everyone who knows it does it. Yeah, the first time I ran into the concept of Damballa was actually Serpent in the Rainbow. Yeah, it actually wasn't Child's Play. It was actually Serpent in the Rainbow where I first ran into it. Yeah, voodoo has a lot of Louisiana Voodoo got a lot of different influences. Yeah, Black Magic Man. Yeah, and hoodoo has its roots in hoodoo has its roots in voodoo. Like, it's almost in the name, right? You know, because a lot of a lot of escaped slaves and Irish people escaped into the Appalachian Hill, into the Appalachians. You know, and that's where the hoodoo live. Yeah, Louisiana voodoo is very specific. It's even a bit. It's clearly strongly related, but it's a little bit different than Savannah voodoo, than the voodoo practiced in Savannah, Georgia. You know, but I mean, like, it's clearly, it's the difference between like Baptist and Lutheran. You know what I mean. You know, it's the same, but it's not. You know. Yeah, and yeah, that's right, Brian. Like hoodoo it's a combination of voodoo mixed with Native American sympathetic magic and Irish pagan practices. You know, one of the reasons that in fucking Boondocks you got Uncle Ruckus say splish splash of Irish, like that's actually a thing that is sometimes said because there are a lot of black people that have Irish blood, you know, because of that, you know, because of the Appalachians. Yeah, Louisiana Voodoo got a very strong culture. Yeah, it has its origins in the Congo, but it is not the same as the Orisha worship, as the Orisha worship practiced in northwestern Africa. It is not. Yeah, it is not the same at all. Yeah, it's very much its own thing. Uses like a similar. It uses syncretic versions of the god figures. You know, like, but it's not the same. For one, the like there's a prominent goddess figure among the Orishas that just does not exist in voodoo. Yeah, the Appalachian Mountains covers a very large, like, lateral territory. All right, I gotta get going. So I will talk to y'all later. Until next time, remember, Ave Satanas Disco Inferno. Pour one out for Don Pedro Cody. Remember, Satan and Baron Samedi love you very much. And I'll see you later. Y'all take care. Special thanks go out, by the way, to Bronson, Razorvine, and Constantine tonight for their donations to the stream.